Okay, now that we have set the stage for monetary policy by discussing the Federal Reserve as well as the loanable funds market a while back, um, we can now develop a money market, and that'll be one step in the direction of seeing how the economy can be manipulated through monetary policy from the Fed. But we need to construct a money market to do that. Now, the way we construct a money market is like any market, you're going to have a price in the vertical axis, and you're going to have a quantity of money on the horizontal axis. Okay, so it's going to be the quantity of money, and this is going to be big R. That's the nominal interest rate. Okay, so remember back in the loanable funds market, we used the real interest rate. Well, we use the nominal interest rate because in the money market, because the nominal interest rate is the opportunity cost of holding money. Okay, remember the nominal interest rate, big R, equals the real interest rate plus inflation. Okay. Now, if the real interest rate rises, so the real return on your dollar rises, well, the opportunity cost of holding on to a dollar rises. In other words, you want to move away from keeping cash in your pocket and keep more cash in the bank. Having said that, if the inflation rate rises, you have the same incentive, because at least a saving account or money market account or something will at least pay some interest. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing. You have high inflation rates. You keep a dollar in your pocket. Well, your dollar's becoming worthless. You put a dollar in your checking account. Well, it's becoming worthless sitting in your checking account unless that checking account pays interest. But if the inflation rate is, say, 2%, and you can get 2% interest in a saving account, then if the inflation's high, the opportunity cost of holding that dollar is high, because if you hold that dollar, you lose 2% of its purchasing power over time. But if you put that dollar in a saving account or a money market account or something like that, at least you can offset that decrease in purchasing power. So no matter how you look at the nominal interest rate is the opportunity cost of holding money. So that's why we use that on the vertical axis in the money market. Now, let's think about money demand. Money demand, like every demand curve, satisfies the law of demand. Okay? And the question is, why does it do that? Well, it's simple. At a low nominal interest rate, R prime, okay, the opportunity cost of holding cash is low. So quantity demanded of cash is going to be relatively high, as we just explained. Okay, it's just the opposite of what we explained. If the nominal interest rate is low, that means either the real rate is low or inflation is low, or it could be both. Either way, holding that dollar in your pocket's not a big deal. You're not losing much purchasing power, and you're not losing much with regard to the real rate in a saving account or something like that. So you're willing to hold more dollars in your pocket, meaning quantity demanded of dollars is going to be relatively high. But that was horrible. If you increase the nominal interest rate, again, what you're doing is you get an increase in the nominal interest rate by either increasing the real rate, okay, which means your real return on your dollar goes up, which means the opportunity cost of holding on to a dollar in your pocket is high. You'd rather save that dollar and make money off of it. Or inflation rate is high, and we just discussed that, or both. Either way, your quantity demanded of dollars is going to be relatively low. Okay, so that is why the money demand curve is downward sloping. Now, money supply. Let's talk about that a little bit. Now, money supply, see, when we draw market graphs and so forth in economics, you may have wondered about this if you took microeconomics, but when we draw markets, what supply and demand actually reflect, their slopes, they actually reflect changes in the decision-making process of individuals, typically, and those individuals could be firms, with regard to a change in the price level. Okay, so that's why these curves typically have slopes to them. Some sort of negative or positive, strictly negative or strictly positive slope. Having said that, money has no decision-making process. Okay, so money is inanimate. It doesn't move. It doesn't think. Doesn't have a brain. So, in modeling money supply is actually quite easy. Why? Because it simply doesn't react to the interest rate. It can't make a decision of whether to hold cash or not hold cash. It can't make a decision of whether to supply more or not supply more. The quantity of money is simply fixed. We've got $1.6 trillion floating around out there, and that's it. So money supply is real easy. Well, this is our market. It's you've got money supply, which is simply a vertical curve. It doesn't change with regard to the nominal interest rate. And we've got money demand, which is a downward sloping curve that does change with the nominal interest rate. And this money market, should equilibrate at some nominal interest rate and some amount of cash out there in circulation. Now, why does it equilibrate? Well, the thing we have to think about here is, how do people save, and how do people interact with the bond market, and how does the bond market interact with the nominal interest rate? And that's what we're going to explore in our next video.